All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back in centre ring for Ultimate Legends Live. Out of the Western Market Hotel, your following contest is brought to you by City West Rentals, Mr. Traffic, and Weight of the World Fitness. Fighting out of the blue corner, please welcome to centre ring, Pumlumnow.
Everything you ever wanted. One moment. Did you capture it? Just let it slip. Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, his opponent fighting out of the red corner. Please welcome to centre ring, Lachlan. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to bout number 3 on the card. This fight is brought to you by City West Rentals, Mr. Traffic, and Weight of the World Fitness. This one to be fought for by 3-minute rounds. Boxing rules in the lightweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, trained by Jordan Gilbert out of Orono Muay Thai, with an official weight of 60.90 kilograms, wearing the black tie trunks with red and gold. A boxing record of 4 fights, 2 wins, 2 losses. He is a veteran of over 400 Muay Thai fights and living out of the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. Please welcome Orono Pumlumnow. And across the ring is this man's opponent, fighting out of the red corner, trained by Scott Bidlos out of Corner Inlet Boxing Club, with an official weight of 61.05 kilograms, wearing the white trunks with black, with Lucky emblazoned across the front. He's had 1 professional fight for 1 win, and fighting out of Mornington in Victoria, this man is the 2-time former Australian amateur boxing champion. He is none other than Lachlan. When the action begins in centre ring, your man in charge of this contest is the Jeff Chadwick.
Next fight of the night, another Victoria versus Queensland battle. Lockie Lewis from the Mornington Peninsula, a great professional debut, and a decorated amateur, taking on Orono, who's predominantly been a Muay Thai fighter with hundreds of Muay Thai fights, but now is 2-2 in boxing, Scotty.
Yeah, he certainly knows his way around the ring, doesn't he, Orono? But he's got a huge disadvantage in height and reach in this bout tonight.
And the footwork and the slick moves of Lockie Lewis are definitely going to be a challenge for Orono.
Orono, we saw fight Jake Clegg last year, and we saw Jake. He went the distance with Jake Clegg. We know how good a fighter Jake is. So
absolutely, yeah. That's a testament to the toughness of this Thai challenger, now based on the Sunshine Coast, Orono, and a very decorated career in Muay Thai. And you know, a legend of the sport in the kicking style, but the boxing is now found his new passion.
He's just trying to work his way inside, but Lewis isn't having any of it. He's just sitting behind that jab.
Yeah, his head's a bit too far forward as well. He's not sitting on that back foot enough, and he's just plumb for that jab, as we're seeing Lewis just pump that lead hand numerous times to the forehead. Uppercut, well done from Lewis. So he shows good dimension of attack, good fighting IQ, Lachie Lewis.
Yeah, he's very good amateur boxer. He won a couple of Australian titles. He's travelled overseas, so he's well schooled, and Scott Binlos in the corner, very, very good trainer, and you can see that in the way that he executes his fight plan.
Produced some good fighters in Mornington Peninsula. Something in the water down there, I reckon.
It is a very nice part of the world.
Absolutely. Or not, trying to find a way in. And perhaps look for a home for that right hand. But just getting beaten to the punch. And just activity from Lachie Lewis.
Yeah, Lewis he's fighting on the outside really well. So you can see that jab just pumping out, trying to keep Orono on the outside. He gets on the inside there and works, but none of it was effective. And out goes Lewis back into that jab.
Just sitting behind the jab, good mobility, good lateral movement as well. It's going from side to side. Switches from orthodox to southpaw momentarily as well. Lewis back to orthodox now. Change to southpaw for a brief moment. Now he goes back to southpaw again.
So he's keeping Orono guessing. So Orono can't quite get set because he goes, oh, is he southpaw? Is he orthodox? Is he going left? Is he going right?
Throwing big shots, Orono, on the outside. The intention is clear to try and land those big hooks. Try and break range and land the big hooks, Orono. But Lewis just having a little bit of fun in there. Very comfortable and good movement. He's got that lead hand down a little low. Needs to be careful not to give Orono something.
Number 1, Orono Pumlumnow.
No question about that round. It was a very decisive round to Lewis. That first one, 10-9.
Absolutely. All one-way traffic to the red corner in that first round.
The Western Market Hotel for Ultimate Legends. Still 3 title fights coming your way. Tomorrow we do it all again, back here with 40 amateur fights. Starting from around midday, you can make your way down, see the future of Australian boxing and kickboxing here at the West End Market Hotel with Fama. Right here at the West End Market Hotel.
Quite animated in Orono's corner, telling him to really move his head, close that distance. You could tell what the message was.
Round 2.
Can he execute? That's the question mark.
Round 2. Mark the Hammer Castellini with Scotty Brower calling all the shots for you in our boxing action tonight. Ultimate Legends Hybrid Show. Another great event here at the West End Market Hotel. Lewis just pumping the jab. The intention is sheer, just to control the range. He's first to pull the trigger. He's aware of the forward movement and aggressive attacks of Orono when given the opportunity, but he's calm under pressure, Scotty.
He is, and it's good to see. I think Lewis, in his first fight, in his debut pro fight, was a little bit nervous, and I think it was great to shake those nerves off. He looks a lot more relaxed tonight, a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, that transition from amateur to professional holds a lot of stress with it. Even though he's had a decorated amateur career, there's still all the hype around turning pro, isn't there? Yeah,
and you take the singlet off, and the gloves are a bit smaller, and there's a bigger crowd, there's a bit more razzmatazz to go with it, and you get paid. It's always a bonus.
Yeah, uppercut off the rear, nicely done. Locking now back to southpaw, switches back to orthodox. You see the fluency in his footwork. He's bouncing on the balls of his feet, popping jab. When in doubt, jab and move, and that's exactly what Lewis is doing. But at the same time, rallies when needed.
Yeah, he's very well balanced, and as Orono comes into his distance, he puts the punches together. Otherwise, he's staying on the outside and just peppering him with that jab. Not loading up on the right hand, like he's throwing the jab. He's not sitting there, looking for that big right hand yet. I think it'll come in the later part of the fight.
Orono needs to move the head. The head is forward, and that's a danger. He's got his head over his lead knee. That's a little bit too far forward, I feel, Scotty.
Yeah, that leaves him open to potentially an uppercut as well, leaning that far forward.
He's overreaching off that with his stance at least, and he's got his body weight forward, so should be sitting on the back foot a bit.
And he needs to, easier said than done, but he needs to try and fold in on and close that gap. So what he's sitting on the outside, he takes a half step forward. It's not enough to close the distance, and then he's getting caught with the jab and then the counter right hand.
As I said, hundreds of Muay Thai fights he's had, and he's have to change your style, especially your foot positioning, your head positioning, and obviously it's also not a young man. I think he'll agree with me. So to be still competitive on a professional level, you know, it's still something to be admired, I feel. So, and fighting all these young lions, you know, he gets in and he mixes it up with them. He's 2-2 in his pro boxing career.
Oh yeah, he's a credit to the sport really, and it is a huge difference between the positioning for Muay Thai than it is to boxing.
He hasn't got that head movement. You can be a bit more stagnant. As Lachie Lewis bombs away to end the second round and makes it another definitive round for him.
Lachie Lewis, Orono Pumlumnow.
Yeah, another round of him. So 2-10-9 rounds, puts him 2 points in front now at the end of the second.
You can have yourself make a bit of cash. Put your money where your mouth is. Head to Palmerbet, who are the official betting partners of Ultimate Legends.
Probably the biggest punches of the fight were landed towards the back end of that round too. So I think maybe Lewis is starting to sit down a little bit on those punches. So expect a little bit more power to come from him in these last 2 rounds.
As you said, Orono measuring up against Jake Clay, and speaking of, you know, decorated amateurs, a great amateur. Now in the pro ranks also. That'd be a good matchup, actually, potentially.
That'd be a very good matchup.
Those two.
But,
Two local blokes.
Down the track, give them time to get their professional careers established. Referee Jeff Chadwick telling Orono's corner to wipe down the excess water. We don't need anybody slipping over.
Orono, he's got to get. It's just a head movement, really, isn't it? His head is there. He doesn't move his head off that centre line much.
It's the head, and it's his foot movement. His feet aren't quick enough. Like he hasn't got quick foot movement to be able to get himself in time. So he's getting caught as he goes to move.
The weight distribution is over his feet, so it'll make it hard. He's sitting down a bit too heavy on the feet, and he's not moving quick enough. Combine that with not moving the head off centre line, or moving his head when he's not throwing. So when he's not throwing, he should theoretically be moving his head, shouldn't he? Yeah,
because you don't want to be a standing target. That's landing a couple of good punches there, Orono. It was his best punches of the night so far.
Yeah. And Lewis just times that uppercut beautifully. Back to southpaw, digs to the body. Nice turnout. Good switch across.
I think Lewis is a good body shot there. Lewis is just starting to sit down a little bit, which is why he's maybe getting caught on the inside, but he's also sitting down, starting to put some more power in those punches, which we didn't see in the first 2 rounds.
Or not, as you said, Scotty, he is open for that uppercut like that. He'll sneak it through the guard.
Good maturity from Lewis.
It turns out. Oh, beautiful slip and move. Weaved out beautifully.
Yeah, it's lovely to watch, isn't it, when you see a fighter do that?
Textbook stuff with the calmness and footwork here. It switches back to southpaw, fires equally off both hands. So he's comfortable in either stance. As Orono opens up now, tries to keep it in the phone booth.
This is where Orono wants to be. He wants to be riding tight.
He needs to try and cut off Lachie Lewis, keep him in a corner or up against the ropes at least, and then shut that gap down and make it a war on the inside.
I've seen a couple of good patches from Orono in this round, so it just shows he's dangerous.
Again, another slick move from Lachie Lewis. Skipping out, skipping back in, firing forward. Reaction time on point.
And that's, as Orono has a couple of good moments, that creates more for Lewis. He has to dig a little bit deeper. He has to be a little bit more creative, and he's executing it really well.
If Orono's going to stand in that pocket and be at the end of the glove of Lewis, it's going to be easy work for the red corner. Orono. Let's get up on the balls of the feet, try and shut the range down. Hasn't hit the body as much either.
Now, I think that's because of that positioning. He's just in that slightly wrong spot where he can't even get the body shot on because he's a little bit too far out, and he'd have to overreach to get it on and leave himself completely wide open.
So hard night at the office for the Queenslander from the Sunshine Coast.
Our gorgeous Ringcast girls, Sarah and Sophia.
A big shout out to everyone who has tuned in on the live stream pay-per-view. We appreciate your support.
Then your semi-main event in the card. It's Joy Boy Najim Qatar taking on Anthony Mutu for the IKBF South Pacific title. And then it's our main event on the card for the Australian Women's Boxing title. It's the challenger Steffi Lee Cutting taking on Charlotte Tomas. Both fighters touch gloves. This is the fourth and final round.
Lewis is very tall for a lightweight, isn't he? He's, I don't think there's going to be anyone much taller than Lewis at this weight division.
Ups and downs with the striking. Lewis, he is tall for this division. Nice uppercut and hook off the rear, then switches to southpaw and fires equally.
Yeah, his confidence is growing as the fight goes on. Showing good defence on the back foot and then turns into attack on the front foot.
Long jabs. Nice right hook. Orono trying to get in. This is the round he's got to do it if he's going to get on the inside. 1-2. Had the pressure up and then backed out and reset. Lockie.
He doesn't lose his head. He's staying nice and cool in there. He's not staying in too long. He's not overdoing it.
Getting the rounds in and doing what needs to be done. And Orono, his intention's clear to try and go bombing, but Lewis giving him none of that.
Yeah, he wants Lewis to stand and trade with him, and Lewis is not going to fall into that trap.
Back to southpaw, pumps the lead. Gets caught with a jab from Orono then, on the rare occasion that Orono's got that straight jab through. Steps in with a jab. Taking no unnecessary risks, Scotty.
No, as I say, he's been very clever with that. He's not standing there. He knows what Orono wants. He wants him to stand and trade with him. He's not having a bar of it.
Just getting the rounds in the bank. The Victorian Lockie Lewis from Corner Inlet Boxing Club in Mornington. Uppercut to hook. Good array of punches.
Yeah, he's got a good kit of punches, and he's just walking his way through it now. He's just putting them together nicely.
Final 30 seconds.
He's got 30 seconds to go.
30 seconds to go. Orono really needs to throw caution to the wind. Lewis just keeps moving.
No doubt the corner said, look, you've won every round. Don't do anything silly.
Oh.
Orono's really having a crack in these last few seconds.
As they rally,
Big left hook from Orono.
He gets caught with that big left hook. Finishes with a flurry.
Ladies and gentlemen, big round of applause for both of these fighters, Lockie Lewis, Orono Pumlumnow.
Certainly come alive in the last 10 seconds.
That was his best passage in the fight, the last 10 seconds. Maybe he needs another round. It should have been a 5-rounder instead of a 4-rounder, but it wasn't.
Landed a good hook on Lewis right at the end there, Orono. But Lockie Lewis had full control of that fight from the outset. And it's toward the punch well, though.
He did wear it very well. Actually. I think 40-36 across the board would be how that one will have to be scored.
4 rounds experience get added to the record of Lachie Lewis in his second professional fight. And a good performance indeed, which will build his confidence. So who's next for Lachie Lewis? The local lad? And Orono from the sunny coast. We thank him for coming down and making this one a competitive battle. From Orono Muay Thai on the Sunshine Coast. A big shout out to everyone tuning in from the sunny Sunshine Coast. Go over to John DeMacoli in just a moment to make all this all official as the board hand the cards up. The fighters are called in the centre ring and the decision will be announced.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we head to the judges' scorecards for a decision. We have a winner via unanimous points, and he is from red corner, Lachie Lewis! Keep your applause going for Orono Pumlumnow.